throwing large pieces. In many ways, it starts before we get to the wheel, the wedging of the clay. This is 10.5 pounds. And what's happening is that the spiral wedging is kind of getting the clay loosened up and also kind of moving in the right direction. At the wheel, gotta make sure to put the clay in the center as much as possible before you even turn it on. Now, coming in and centering this amount of clay it's quite challenging. It uses a lot of strength and also a lot of finesse. You can't really do the full kind of traditional cone up and push down technique. You have to rely a little bit more on the kind of corkscrewing methods. Large consideration in making bowls is how wide or how narrow I actually open it to. There's not really one right or wrong method. But I usually find it kind of like somewhere right around here. The other thing that kind of comes about is it's not 100% important to have it completely centered. And you can wrestle this all you really wanted to, and it would still never quite find its true center. But as long as it's close enough, I'll be able to kind of take out those inconsistencies later in the process. Opening it up is also quite a lot of work, kind of slowly, and I think this is where when people are making bowls, they really lose a lot of their center by trying to open the clay up a little bit too fast. So just pushing it. You get it open nice and wide so there's lots of space to work with your hands. And maintaining that center is really quite important. Continuously throughout the process, you'll see me kind of coming around here and clawing the outside and pushing it down, making sure that that outside rim stays as good as possible. Compacting the bottom. It's also a really important step on bowls. You can leave as much thickness as you really want to at the bottom. I still try to kind of I've encouraged people to leave the same amount every time, because then you'll get used to what you do and you'll be able to trim it away without too much trouble. Just over kind of like the 2 wall thicknesses, maybe 3 on the larger bowls if you want a more raised up foot. But all of that clay that gets left behind gets taken care of later on in the process. So you do lose some of your size with the bowl, but when you're making a big bowl, you're just making the biggest bowl you can, and it doesn't really matter whether it's a 15-inch or 16-inch or... Coming in for this first pull, there's a lot of clay here. And so kind of getting it completely evened out, and also kind of lift it up into the wall a little bit. It's more of a setup pull. That's so much better. Kind of getting that up into the wall. Keeping the rim as thick as possible. I started with fairly stiff clay. This bag of clay had been sitting open in my storage cabinet for a couple weeks. The harder clay just makes it so that it holds its strength a little bit more as it gets pulled out. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but it seems to work. I try to always do this in as few pulls as possible, but the reality of it is that this doesn't really matter how many you do it in. But you get a limited amount of time to work. And so being efficient with your motions means that the clay doesn't get tired out and collapse. It's still very important to get the nice thickness that you're going for. Now I like to do clean up the bottom step right here in the beginning before any shaping goes on. Waste a full pound of clay right there. Pretty much the only time I use a sponge is to take out some of the throwing slurry. Now, if you like shaping the outside of things, do it first. Lately I've been trimming away a lot more, so this time I'm going to do a simple cleanup. It should make my life a little bit easier later on. And then pretty much after that I really won't touch the outside. Now the shape of the rib that we use has a lot of determination in kind of the final contour of this bowl. And I have a few go-to ribs, but this isn't one of them. So let's see how it goes. Right down here at the bottom, where it transitions from the wall to the side, or wall to the bottom, so it's kind of a problematic area. Needs a little extra attention. Taking away some of that clay. This rib right here is that I'm using right now is my favorite. This has a good gentle curve that I seem to really like. This shaping process can take a few minutes. You can spend a fair amount of time kind of pushing things out. Some of the warning signs to when to stop is the outside rim will start to chatter a little bit. So it's good to stop before that happens. You can make it last a little bit longer if you have a little bit of water at the right time. In general, it's just listening to the clay and saying, oh, it's time to stop. Kind of going for that really wide, shallow bowl. But I just kind of like the shape. I keep joking that I want to make a bowl that won't fit in the kiln. But I want to do it from 10 pounds of clay. Which is basically going to be impossible because I don't think I could stretch out 20 inches. I usually like these relatively simple open shapes. It gives me a lot of space to come in and decorate, put some patterns in it. A lot of opportunities essentially. Just giving it a gentle fold down. If you go too far though, it's really hard to flip them over and trim them, as I learned from a few of the other ones. So a lot of it comes from just the gesture line, simple line. In there. Maybe a double line. Try a double line this time. So that way when I come in to do a design, I'll have some place to stop. I usually try to let these sit on the wheel as long as I possibly can before loosening them up and taking it off. They take about 4 or 5 days to dry out before I can flip them over, and then doing the trimming steps.